I'm going to be reading the reigns of Elah, Zimri, Omri, and Ahab. Then the word of the Lord came to Jehu, the son of Hanani, against Baasha, saying, Inasmuch as I lifted you out of the dust, and made you ruler over my people Israel, and you have walked in the way of Jeroboam, and have made my people Israel sin, to provoke me to anger with their sins. Surely I will take away the posterity of Baasha and the posterity of his house, and I will make your house like the house of Jeroboam, the son of Nebat. So he's going to go squish. Okay. The dog shall eat whoever belongs to Baasha and dies in the city. Whoa. And the birds of the air shall eat whoever dies in the fields. So it's not going to be a pretty picture. Okay. Now the rest of the acts of Baasha, what he did and his might, are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of the Kings of Israel? So Baasha rested with his fathers and was buried in Tirzah. Then Elah his son reigned in his place. And also the word of the Lord came by the prophet Jehu, the son of Hanani, against Baasha and his house, because of all the evil that he did in the sight of the Lord, and provoking him to anger with the work of his hands, and being like the house of Jeroboam, and because he killed them. In the 26th year of Asa, king of Judah, Elah, the son of Baasha, became king over Israel, and reigned 2 years in Tirzah. So he didn't reign too long. 2 years is not a long time. Now his servant Zimri, commander of half of his chariots, conspired against him, and he was in Tirzah, drinking himself drunk in the house of Arza, steward of his house in Tirzah. So now he's getting drunk. Okay. We're going to see what comes next. All right. And Zimri went in and struck him and killed him in the 27th year of Asa, king of Judah, and reigned in his place. So he's drunk. The other guy comes and kills him. You know, how are you going to be somewhere to protect yourself if you're getting drunk? Anybody could take you out. Then it came to pass, when he began to reign, as soon as he was seated on his throne, that he killed all the household of Baasha, and he did not leave him one male, neither of his relatives nor of his friends. Thus Zimri destroyed all the household of Baasha, according to the word of the Lord, which he spoke against Baasha by Jehu the prophet. For all the sins of Baasha and the sins of Elah his son, by which they had sinned, and by which they had made Israel sin, provoking the Lord God of Israel to anger with their idols. Now the rest of the acts of Elah, and all that he did, are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of the Kings of Israel? In the 27th year of Asa, king of Judah, Zimri had reigned in Tirzah 7 days, and the people were encamped against Gibbethon, which belonged to the Philistines. Now the people who were encamped heard it said, Zimri has conspired and also has killed the king. So all Israel made Omri, the commander of the army, king of Israel that day in the camp. Then Omri and all Israel with him went up from Gibbethon, and they besieged Tirzah. And it happened, when Zimri saw that the city was taken, that he went into the citadel of the king's house, and burned the king's house down upon himself with fire and died. So he's like, I'm not going to let them take over me, I'll just kill myself. Okay? Because of the sins which he committed, and doing evil in the sight of the Lord, and walking in the way of Jeroboam, and in his sin which he had committed to make Israel sin. Now the rest of the acts of Zimri, and the treason he committed, are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of the Kings of Israel? Then the people of Israel were divided into 2 parts. Half of the people followed Tibni, the son of Ginath, to make him king, and half followed Omri. So now we're split in 2. And I feel like this country's kind of going the same way. But the people who followed Omri prevailed over the people who followed Tibni, the son of Ginath. So Tibni died and Omri reigned. In the 31st year of Asa, king of Judah, Omri became king over Israel and reigned 12 years. 6 years he reigned in Tirzah. And he bought the hill of Samaria in Shemer for 2 talents of silver. Then he built on the hill and called the name of the city which he built Samaria, after the name of Shemer, owner of the hill. Okay? Omri did evil in the eyes of the Lord. Here we go. And did worse than all who were before him. That's bad. For he walked in all the ways of Jeroboam the son of Nebat, and in his sin by which he had made Israel sin, provoking the Lord God of Israel to anger with their idols. Now the rest of the acts of Omri which he did, and the might that he showed, are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of the kings of Israel? So Omri rested with his fathers and was buried in Samaria. Then Ahab his son reigned in his place. In the 38th year of Asa king of Judah, Ahab son of Omri became king over Israel. And Ahab son of Omri reigned over Israel in Samaria 22 years. So he lived for quite a while, reigning, okay? Now Ahab the son of Omri did evil in the sight of the Lord. Yep, just like his daddy. More than all who were before him. So he's even worse than his daddy now. And it came to pass, as though it had been a trivial thing for him to walk in the sins of Jeroboam the son of Nebat, that he took his wife Jezebel, here we go, the daughter of Elah, king of the Sidonians, and he went and served Baal and worshipped him. There we go. There we go. Then he set up an altar after Baal in the temple of Baal, which he built in Samaria. And Ahab made a wooden image. Ahab did more to provoke the Lord God of Israel to anger than all the kings of Israel who were before him. In his days, Hiel of Bethel built Jericho. He laid its foundation with Abiram, his firstborn, and with his youngest, Segub, he set up its gates, according to the word of the Lord, which he had spoken through Joshua, the son of Nun. So he's like, here we go. This is going to happen. See how things are descending? They're just getting worse. Okay. And it seems like in our country, things have just been getting worse and worse and worse and worse. Do you have people that honor God trying to teach their children how to honor God so that way the next generation will grow up to honor God? You don't even have people teaching their kids how to read. I mean, they don't even recognize letters. And you're going, what? What? How do your parents not teach you anything? They're like, oh, well, the school will do it. The school will do it. No, it starts at home, people. When you're a parent, you are the child's first teacher. Number one, before anybody else. You are their teacher. You decide to make that child. You decide to lay down, make that child. You should teach that child. Teach a child right from wrong. Teach a child how to read, how to write, numbers, everything. That when they get to school, they'll already be ahead of the game. I understand some, people have disabilities. I understand that. I struggled in school. In 2nd grade, I was diagnosed with attention deficit disorder. Not hyperactivity. I wasn't all over the place. But if the teacher was talking and there was something going on over here, my focus is over here. I was never a behavior problem. I never caused any problems. My parents were military. They said, if you get in trouble at school, you're getting in trouble at home. So, you think I wanted that? Get in double trouble? No. So, I behaved myself. And my sisters behaved themselves. Because they knew they were going to get it. So, we were never a problem when we were young. Never, ever a problem for our parents. We got compliments. People would say, man, your kids are so polite. Your kids are so well behaved. I mean, my parents could take us anywhere. And they never had any problems with us whatsoever. We were good kids. So, when my girls were 2, we were able to take them to the art museum. What 2-year-old do you know can go to the art museum and not touch stuff? Our girls did. Our girls went to the art museum. They knew better not to touch anything. If we said, you don't touch that, you leave it alone, guess what they did? They left it alone. Because they didn't want any trouble from mommy or daddy. So, when you're the parent, you're the authority. Not your kid. Your kid is not your authority. You don't answer to your kid. Your kid answers to you. You brought them into the world. You could take them out. Okay? I don't know who came up with that, but it just sounds kind of funny. Anyway, so that's that story. Now we're gonna read more tomorrow, and we're going to find out what happens next. Because next, Elijah, okay, raises the widow's son. So you're going to be like, whoa, who's Elijah? Who's this widow? Who's her son? You're going to see. It's going to get real good. Because even though there's dissent, there's always people that will lift up and go, no, we're not taking this crap. Sorry, that's no nicer way to say that. We're not taking this crap. So, godly people, when things happen, you need to stand up and be like, no, not taking it. Not taking garbage. Okay? You know, godly people are not made to be wussies. Godly people are made to be tough. Doesn't mean we never have problems. Doesn't mean we may never cry, because we cry just like anybody else. We go through the hard life stuff. But when the road, you know, how do you put it? When the gravel hits the road, I don't know how to put it. But, you know, or when poop hits the fan, Christians are the ones that need to stand up and do the right thing. Because when Christians stand up and do the right thing, that's when things get cleaned up. So, thumbs up, like, and subscribe. Peace.